We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
I'm not going to see after Monday Night Raw.
Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. Today, we've got a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling, from the announced retirement of Goldberg to Liv Morgan's injury. Plus, we have to talk about that big match which is happening tonight. R-Truth, John Cena. It is going to be exciting. But could R-Truth take the title off John Cena down the line? We're going to be chatting all of that. Plus, one of our guests has been in a little bit of controversy over on Instagram today because of his takes about Mercedes Moné. So we are going to be getting into all of that and more. But before we do, we have to get into the panel. And let's kick things off with the Tuesday Night Delight, who had a delightful Thursday night yesterday, hosting the most watched Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast in history. How are you, Shad?
Acknowledge me. It's good. It's good to be back from yesterday. Yesterday was an electric show, man. Salute to Ant and Ant. I had both Ants on the panel, and we talked everything about which was an incredible episode of AEW Dynamite this past week. And yeah, man, I ruffled some feathers. I even had to go against two people on the take in regards to Mercedes Moné. So I guess I got to circle back on it. But hey, man, CEO. Let's get into it.
Absolutely, and we will be getting into that in just a little bit. But before we do, let's introduce the other panelists today. We have all the way from Scotland, Sol. How are you today, Sol?
It's too hot. It's too hot. I can't stand it. Like, this heat is sensational right now. I hate how hot Scotland is right now. This is truly the effects of global warmings, but it's still cooler than Bret Hart's hatred towards Goldberg, who we'll get into in the first topic. But nonetheless, I'm fine. I'm good as always. Just want to take this time also to thank you guys and everything for the support of hitting 200 interviews. Obviously coming up with Wolfgang, former NXT star. So kudos for that, boys. And yeah, let's get on to another episode of the Daily, because I agree with Shad in his second point. I think Shad made exceptional points I would love to add, but let's get into Mr. Goldberg first.
Absolutely, and we will be getting onto all of that. And it is true, right now it is boiling hot in the UK, but I'm sure we're going to have some hot takes today. And let's kick things off with a message that WWE sent to all the media earlier on today, and that is that Saturday night's main event in just a few weeks' time will officially be Goldberg's final match, his retirement match. Now, this was teased. Michael Cole referenced it on Monday Night Raw, but interestingly, Goldberg never actually said, "Hey, Gunther, I want you in my final match." So a lot of fans, including myself, started to worry, is this one final run instead of one final match? Thankfully, no, it's just one final match, and I'm fine with it. But the one thing I still just can't get my head around is why this is a championship match. And Shad, I was wondering if you could try and shred any light on that and try and make sense of it.
No, I think it's foolish that they would announce it as his final match, knowing that the title was on the line, knowing that you pretty much predetermined the result for us. He's going to lose. There's no way that he beats Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event. Now, I didn't think he was going to, but you leave any shadow of a doubt that it's not going to happen, because there is no way that Goldberg wins this title then retires off of it. That doesn't happen. You have to at least, there has to be more of a creative way to it. Make it a title versus career match. Make it that situation where it's like, okay, I want your title, but I'm willing to put my whole entire career on the line to get that title. And that, may still streamline what we think may happen, but there's more of a story to it. I think the issue that I have a lot with how WWE operates as of late is that the whole aspect of kayfabe has kind of just been dumped in the trash. I feel like they take the visibility of letting you know what happens behind the scenes, plays accordingly to everything that we hear behind the scenes in the dirt sheets and on whatever is in the press and interviews. Like they play as if like they are actors, which I know a lot of these people are playing characters, but sometimes you kind of have to leave a little bit of shadow of the doubt. That's why I respect, wrestlers like a Liv Morgan and a Dominic Mysterio, you know, staying in character a lot of the time, right? Even more people on the record of it that they have. But when you have the head honcho kind of just letting you know what's going on out the gate, it kind of makes it a little bit less desirable to be in tune with as a fan. So letting us know that this is his last match, it does kind of make it like a little bit like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. But kudos to Goldberg in that situation. Atlanta, Georgia, his hometown. He gets to have his final match there, going against one of the top dogs in the company. That must be a special and monumental moment for him. So I don't want to take that away from him. But yeah, I don't like them kind of just letting it be known that, this is going to be his last match, rather than it being incorporated into the story. Also, it allows me to just continuously think Saturday Night Main Event just doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
At all.
It's just adverts. But you do bring up a good point, Shad. And that is that what happens in a world where Goldberg does win this title and then retires? Because let's face it, there's like a 0.0001% chance this could actually happen. But let's just say for a second, it did. Maybe they're going to do that to make John Cena's title run feel even more important, to make it feel like if he runs away with that title, there's not longer even a title in the WWE.
If they did that, that would be the biggest detriment to Gunther that you could ever
It'd be
have.
a joke. It'd be worse than The Fiend.
Yeah, like that is literally just any seriousness we have for what we've had. And I'll tell you this, Gunther, whether you like his title reigns or not, they have built him to be a top guy, right?
Yeah.
They put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get him to be who he is. He's supposed to be one of the most dominant people on that roster. And for him to lose to an old man, yeah, I don't know, man. That would be kind of crazy.
It would suck. But that's the only way I could see them doing it. But again, I think that's a 0.001% chance. I think they have ruined this match. To your point, it should have been Korea versus title. But I don't know. But I guess they're just telling us it straight up. Sol, what's your thoughts on it?
Hey, we all thought Sting wasn't gonna, win his match when he retired, and he ended up doing. So maybe this is just something that WCW legends have, is that they are able to win their last matches. Here's the thing, right? I mean, I've seen people go on about why is this happening? He doesn't deserve it. And the matter of the fact is that Goldberg was one of the biggest wrestling stars of the 90s. Like, if you go back and watch these old WCW matches from Nitro to pay-per-view, the man was dominant because he was built that way. He was built to be the biggest star in WCW that was homemade. He's literally the only success from the power plant. The only singular one who went into WCW, went undefeated, won the title, won the US title, had to relinquish the US title to keep the world heavyweight. And obviously the way he lost it was bad. His heel turn in there was also bad. But people still clamor for him. That's why people still chant his name. If your name's still getting chanted, then you have cemented your legacy. And the thing with wrestling is that your end is never really determined. You could have an injury and your career's over. You could be forgotten to the sands of time. Not everyone gets a retirement match. And to get this opportunity, I think for Goldberg is special, and in his hometown, it's rewarding. The man does deserve it, whether you think of him or not. He absolutely deserves this opportunity. The fact that it's title against Gunther, though, that's the question, is why. I said it with the AEW tags. I will say it with this. It adds prestige in my mind, and also to the WWE Championship as well. Which obviously with Cena, it's going to be his last belt. With Goldberg going to get for this title, in his last match, that adds on to the lineage of that belt. Whether you're a fan of his or not, you will always know that the last match that Goldberg had was challenging for that title. It kind of adds this element of not mystique, but privilege to it, knowing that that's the last belt of such a big legend, and also somebody who held the original design of that, the World Heavyweight Championship from NWA, WCW. This is sort of the spiritual successor of that design. So it kind of makes sense. You don't get me wrong, you have to part away the seams to look and actually find it, but there is a sense of it making sense. Could they add this in the build to the story? Maybe they could.
Yeah, they could if that's the route they're going down.
But I think it's fine. I understand from a business point of view. If he wins, it's going to be very funny.
I don't know if I'll laugh or cry or both. I might be crying while laughing, but I don't know. I don't like any of this because it feels predictable. It feels pointless. I don't want to watch the show anyway, to Shad's point, because it's just ads. I mean, at least try and make it, feel like, oh, well, Gunther's going to be fighting for his career or something like that if you're going to put the title on the line. Doing what they've done, it gives you no incentive to watch.
I mean, it's a fair point, but at the end of the day, we've said that about the last previous Saturday night main events that I've always felt like they don't matter. No offense, they are just they're glorified house shows. They're glorified house shows, but at the end of the day, people are still paying to turn up to them. And of course, this show's running during the same weekend as All In. I don't know if it's the same day as well. Is it the same?
It is the same day.
Same day, but it's in the It's in the nighttime. So All In obviously runs in the day.
But don't worry, guys. They're not missing that. WWE are also going to be counter programming that with an NXT show. So don't worry. They're going to do that. Still going to do it.
They're going to want all the glitz and glamours on this that people will fork out their money for, because we've seen their ticket prices are continuously rising. So they want to give people their money's worth. It could, don't get me wrong. This match is not going over 10 minutes. 8 minutes max, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a couple of chops, couple of spears.
I'll have to find it, but I saw somebody online posted all the match times of the last 10 Goldberg matches, and I think the longest one was Lashley, and that was 9 minutes. So everything else was 30 seconds. I think him and KO was 30 seconds. The Fiend was 2 minutes. So yeah, he and I get it. Obviously, I feel like the dream match would have been him and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Stylistically, that's I think Braun Breaker is the closest thing, except a little bit cleaner, of Goldberg during WCW, just the pure athleticism, strength, obviously with the spear. But I think Gunther gives you, I said it before, I think he can have a great match with us. I think I could wheel a 3.5-star match with him, with no wrestling experience. The guy is that much of a, no pun intended, ring general. So you put a lot of trust in him for it. And then he also has built himself as that heel. But like I said, I don't know. I just don't. Him losing it would be a bit of a detriment to him. I feel him winning does two things. One, it puts the bow on a career for Goldberg, and it gives him a goodbye match that he wanted. He's vocally expressed that he wants it. But like I said, I think sometimes people are being a little too overcritical on it for Gunther's side having this match, because Gunther, this is a legacy match. You don't get a lot of opportunities wrestling against household names. People forget Goldberg was damn near about to put WWE on
out of business.
Out of business, right? He was a big time thing.
He was.
He's a legend. So you get an opportunity to wrestle with a legend. That's amazing, man. So I mean, good for him.
And to your point as well, I do think Gunther is actually the best match we're going to get out of him, out of Goldberg. I really do, because Braun Breaker, I think, would have been, the more of a fan-made, a fan dream match, whatever, stylistically, to your point. But I do think Gunther will be a better match and a safer match at that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And I think as well, what's fascinating to think about as well, with Goldberg done, one WCW star I could think now who's still active is Rey Mysterio. Besides that,
Jericho.
Jericho. Oh yeah, Jericho. Oh yeah, he is, isn't he? I think I'm more in WWE. I didn't watch that era.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, that's true as well. Jeff Jarrett's technically still going.
Not many though. Not many though.
Did Dustin Rhodes, was he in WCW at all?
He was as the
Yeah.
natural Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
that's right.
But I consider he wasn't he was there for he kind of became who he is in WWE when he became Goldust. Ray and Jericho are definitely big ones though, because Jericho was that was the big deal that he hopped from WCW to WWE when all the WWE dudes were hopping to WCW. He came out, had that incredible debut against The Rock, and then Mysterio, man, he was one of the top, the Filthy Animals, and then everything he did with his, the fuse with all the cruiserweight guys. So those two definitely are the last after Goldberg. But Goldberg is a bigger WCW name than both of those guys, just off of pure WCW. So
oh, he certainly is. But we got an interesting comment I want to quickly address here from Garrett Sari saying if Goldberg wins, you would have to pull out the Seth Rollins cash in. There was a huge issue with that. And that issue is Seth Rollins would suddenly become not just the biggest babyface in that building, but the biggest babyface in the entire industry. If Goldberg beats Gunther, I mean, the fans are going to hate it, absolutely hate it online. So if Seth Rollins immediately cashes in, we're back to the problem we had a month ago where everybody's cheering this faction, I think.
See, I know we're going to the timing wise, but also quickly, I don't think it'll be hated. Online, yes, it'll be absolutely hated, but I think in the arena, people will hate Seth for it. I don't think they'll cheer him.
No, they cheer. They cheer. They cheer Seth.
I don't think they would.
1,000%. They cheer cash-ins anyway.
Goldberg's not going to get booed in Atlanta, though.
No, he's not going to get booed.
He's not going to get booed, but if he wins, I think he might.
I don't think he will.
Bro, people were chanting Goldberg heavy on.
No, they're going to cheer him for the match. He's a star, to your point. But if they win, I think they will boo or just be silent with their displeasure. And Seth Rollins would get a huge pop.
It might get a reaction off of the shock value, though.
Yeah, I think people would cheer it. Maybe. I think people would cheer it, and if Steph cashes in, they'll hate him for it. That's my...
No, they'll cheer. Mark my words. They've never booed a cash-in once.
Okay.
I mean, we booed Austin Theory at Clash of the Castle, Cardiff.
Yeah, but that was fair. That didn't happen. It was later down the line that nobody's actually, when they properly cashed in on a world title, being booed.
I mean, Tyson Fury saved the day, or whatever that was.
We've got Fernando Zayas in the chat. Shout out to you, Fernando. But without further ado, let's move on to the next topic, the controversy of the day at Wrestling Republic. And this, of course, all revolves around Mercedes Moné's, Shad's take on Mercedes Moné on Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast yesterday, where said she's currently on a generational run. She is 7 belts Moné, but our Instagram comments were saying none of these 7 belts really matter. Most people can't even name them. And has she actually elevated anybody or any promotion during this reign, or just elevated herself? Before I give my thoughts, I think it's only fair to give Shad a chance to defend himself. Go on, Shad.
Shad's right.
Thank you, bro. Yes, she is elevating herself. Okay? She is elevating the company that she works for. That is the most important elevation at the end of the day. Because why should Mercedes Moné have to worry about elevating everybody else when the entirety of her career, she has had to play second fiddle to, I don't know, Charlotte, I don't know, Becky, I don't know, Bayley. This is one of the most selfless women superstars in the WWE. And all of a sudden, the narrative is just completely flipped because she left and she bet on herself and she went to the rival promotion. And she's having a lot of success. Is she elevating people? Yes, she is elevating people. These companies are not the AEW. These companies see a big-time star, a Hall of Famer in her prime, willing to work there, carry their title around, have matches against people on their roster, and people are going to say, well, these titles don't matter because y'all don't watch the promotions, because y'all aren't real wrestling fans like that. You don't care. You only care about it because you want to make an effort to just completely bash her because you have some odd vendetta against her. That is the only reason people are trying to make about this. No one cares to talk anything about whoever was the Rev Pro champion prior to that. No one ever talks about who was the New Japan Women's Strong Champion, the CMLL Women's Champion. Everyone pinpoints all of these facts and Googles all these names saying you did this wrestler dirty just because she won the belt. Look, man, I'm sorry. You put a big title, you put your title on a big time star. Watch people pop up to these shows. You give a reason to want to go to the shows and wrestle these people because you have Mercedes Moné on the ticket. That's the truth about it. And she is elevating those companies by then. When she loses the belt to somebody, that's going to elevate whoever beats her. So just give it time, be patient, let her continue go on this generational run because she deserves it. It's just the honest fact. Like, we are so quick to put this Hogan term on anybody that wins, and you have no backing towards it. Yes, there are situations where someone is going to be strong and they win. Okay? Stop. I'm tired of everybody wants a damn participation trophy. Everyone gets done dirty. Like, bro, these are jobs. It's part of the game, man. So, no, she is elevating herself. She's elevating AEW. She's elevating the women's division. She's elevating all these companies that she's gracing our stage with, carrying that belt. She is the CEO. She is the blueprint. She is the conversation. She is Mercedes Moné.
Shad, I've got to say that opinion should just be illegal. It really, really should. It's just completely unacceptable. You should not be allowed to speak facts like that because you're banging on the Monet. You absolutely are. No,
Lads,
he is.
I'm
listen,
agreeing.
right?
I'm agreeing, but I can offer a story about how I know Mercedes elevated somebody if you would like that contribution. And I can
go for it.
So I interviewed Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is obviously a trainer at New Wave Cardiff. Mercedes Moné actually just turned up to New Wave Cardiff during All In 2024, and she elevated the talent there. She sat there for, Mark said, about an hour and a half, just wanting to train and elevate the young talent there, the likes of Leon Cage, giving him advice, wanting to speak to the talent and giving them personal one-to-ones. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to go into a training school in Cardiff and speak to the talent and give them that opportunity. I think Mercedes Moné is probably one of the most important wrestlers in the world today because she's going into these opportunities to give that advice. Look at New Japan World and Rev Pro On Demand. Their subscriber counts went up when she won their titles. The German company that she has that like nobody knew about, but people are now focused on that because she has the belt there. I think about as well for these fans in Britain for Rev Pro, Mexico for CML, and the German company, right? The only chance you might have gotten to see Mercedes Moné is on your television screen or your tablet. Mm-hmm. Now you have these opportunities to see her in person, not for a massive extortionate ticket price as well, but you get that opportunity. Like Rev Pro got their anniversary show coming up during Forbidden Door. She's wrestling CML as we speak right now. The other company, she'll probably head back there at a certain point, but she is willing to do that. She doesn't have to be somebody that goes and does this opportunity for a paycheck. She's doing this because she loves professional wrestling. And people saying that she's Hogan is just basically people who don't want to see her win. And if these people are like, well, I wouldn't put my belt on her. If these people are like, well, I wouldn't put my belt on her because if I was a promoter, I wouldn't put my belt on her. Then you can't be a wrestling promoter because you wouldn't book properly. You don't understand the business if you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, people want to play armchair booker, armchair, head coach all the time to say what they think should be done. But you have to look, man, it is not easy to run a company. It's not easy to run a wrestling promotion. Like he was saying, numbers don't lie. This is going to get people to come to these different, smaller promotions, especially these fans. The intimate nature of an independent show is a lot better than going to a big show for a WWE or AEW.
Yeah,
that's
I
just
agree
the
on
honest truth of it. You get to see it way closer in full effect. You get interactions sometimes. Meet and greets can kind of happen, like stuff like that. Staying back, signing, merch or taking pictures with fans. Like she's doing it for the love of the game, and she's having the time of her life doing it. So, like I said, generational run. Easily the best run that she's ever had in her career. And this may go down as the best women's run of all time.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to touch Toyota in. What was it? I can't remember the year, but she had just an unbelievable
I
year.
drive a Nissan. I don't care about Toyota.
I'm agreeing with
Fair
Shad.
play on that.
I have to
But
agree with Shad as well.
I mean, look, I'll say this to your point as well, just to wrap it up. People, I've watched promotions which I watch very rarely just to see Mercedes Moné, and I have seen wrestlers wrestle her and found out about them for the first time, even if they're losing to her. So I think, yes, she is elevating them, because even in a loss, she is still getting their name out there, and this is a comment from Fernando Zayas. Yes.
Sorry.
The comment from Fernando Zayas that Stephanie Vaquer was elevated by Mercedes at Forbidden Door so well, in fact, that WWE signed her up like that.
Oh no, are you sure? I'm sure all these E-drones just think they're big CMLL fans and they watched all of her matches prior to that. Sorry, you're right.
It's insane as well. I mean, even bringing it home for me and Allison, like the match she had with Kanji at one of the Rev Pro shows was ecstatic as well. Like I'm fully excited to see who she goes against at the anniversary show. Maybe, former champions like Alex Windsor or Danny Luna, or maybe some of the new fresh talent we have here as well. Like, I want to go to that anniversary show during Forbidden Door weekend to see Mercedes Moné wrestle in person. I want to go to that. I want to go.
I'm sure it would be an absolute blast. Garrett Sari saying she's getting the heat on the matches because nobody wants to wrestle Tony right now. I mean, I don't get that, to be honest with you.
How would nobody want to wrestle?
I think that was like a written mistake on that message. I think that's come across wrong.
I think every woman on that locker room wants to wrestle both of them.
I think that's what it meant. I think it's because
of course, nobody wants to wrestle the women's champion of the second biggest American promotion. Sure, bud. Good on you. Good on you.
Christopher Leclerc says, my top 4 horsewomen are 1 Bayley, 2nd Mercedes Moné, 3 Charlotte Flair, and 4 Becky Lynch. Little bit of a hot take, Christopher.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about that, Chris. Becky, Mercedes, and then Bayley, and then Flair. That's how I got it.
I need prep time to make.
And the Atomic Merp says, if she pulls it off like how Omega did, I got no complaints. And so far,
literally what I said yesterday too. I was like, nobody was complaining about the when he was the belt collector.
They were.
Not to this magnitude.
Yeah, they were. Or the IWC.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
It was not.
They were.
No,
it was not.
No, they were not.
I don't know if you guys were on Twitter during that time.
I was on Twitter during that time frame.
They were hating it. I was going defending my man Kenny Omega during that time. He was getting heat.
Get off Twitter, man. It's a dead platform.
But up next, let me talk to you about what isn't a dead platform. In fact, what is a fantastic platform, and that is Etsy. You can go on there, and every weekend, one of us here at Wrestling Republic will be doing a live stream, whether it's Clark, whether it's at university, or whether it's like a guest like Wrestle Takes or stuff like that. There's tons of content creators over there. It is absolutely fantastic, and you guys can download the Etsy app on the App Store or Google Play Store and head to the upcoming stream section. Now, what makes Etsy different is you can jump in on these calls. You can show your face and put your mic on and argue, debate with us. You can have your camera off if you want to stay anonymous, but you can argue back. You can ask questions. It's a lot of fun, and it's free to download. So head over to the Etsy app. Also, while you are at it doing things, also go over to our Wrestling Republic Undercard channel and subscribe there. A new episode of Grappling for Position dropped on there yesterday, and it's an absolute banger. So if you haven't checked that out with Drizzy, Shard, and Clark, make sure that you do. Plus, all separately will be coming out on there later today as well. So once again, go and subscribe to Wrestling Republic Undercard. Plus, Allison Analysis. There will be a new review on the Allison Analysis YouTube channel for SmackDown tomorrow, so check that out as well. Plus, I mean, without being a Tony Khan and doing a special announcement, me and Archie are actually going to do a new type of video tomorrow on the main Wrestling Republic channel that will come out a bit earlier in the day as well, discussing tonight's SmackDown. So make sure to check that out, because we're going to try something It might fail and we might never do it again, but it's worth a try, and make sure to check it out and let us know how you feel when it comes out. But next up, let's talk about R-Truth for a moment, because R-Truth this week, R-Truth tonight is facing John Cena on SmackDown in a non-championship match. But if R-Truth wins, I mean, who's to say that he will not get a championship opportunity down the line? So, Soul, my question for you is, could R-Truth actually dethrone John Cena? Could you see it happening?
This question like these that make me think wrestling fans have an IQ below 40. No. Like, no. I would be genuinely shocked if he won the match last night. Right? Or sorry, tonight, if he won, right? Say he wins, they do a title picture at Saturday Night's main event, which they did before, but they didn't put the title on it for some weird reason. But Cena has so many limited dates, so you really want to waste a title program on R-Truth, somebody that the company really didn't see any light in, so they got rid of him. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, like, generally, the only people I see dethroning Cena are Punk or Cody. And because you have this stupid limited dates gimmick with Cena, that you've really shot yourself in the foot of who you can really work with. He's not going to lose it to somebody from NXT to elevate them. He's not going to lose it to somebody on the main roster who needs it. He's going to lose it to Cody, who he took the title off to mega boost Cody as the ultimate true babyface. Or he's going to lose it to Punk, because Punk is somebody that with the title would sell a lot of merch and money for WWE like Cody would. It's just kind of pointless, and I think John Cena's heel run has been stupid. I've not enjoyed it at all. The fact that they are really just milking this as a glorified cash cow with every single city. This last time is now spinner belt, milking it like money galore, and it's sort of like, why? It's like, how can you?
Well,
be
it's
the
a
ultimate
business. That's why.
I know it's a business, but like, if we're taking this as a story, like this is John Cena's last year as a story, it's terrible.
I disagree with that completely. I love the countdown. It brings a sense of
no,
it's going down. Can you get the
no
title off him? The clock's turning. Can you do it?
Do you really think? Down. Do you really think WWE are going to let the title with the prestigious history of the last 60, 70 years end? No,
they could do.
No,
it's like, did you think in Avengers that Thanos was really going to just wipe out half the population and they would never come back?
Yeah, and guess what happened in the next movie? They did it all back and only lost one or two Avengers because they're too old to do the movie.
That's what, but we all knew it wasn't actually going to happen.
Yeah, like how I know John Cena's not going to take away the title and retire it.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make it not good as long as they tell a good story along the way. And that, in my opinion, is what they're doing.
Has the story actually been good? I don't think so.
I think so. I don't think the turn was explained well enough. I agree on that point. But the actual story they've told since the turn, I like.
Here's the thing. I like the idea of the turn. I wouldn't have done it without The Rock's inclusion and Travis Stupid Scott. I would have done it at WrestleMania during the match and have that big shocking moment to end WrestleMania upon. So then everybody's like, what happens at Raw? They did the turn too early because The Rock had to swing his ego around and push all of his narrative and stuff like that, because that's what it was at the end of the day, right?
We don't know that. Nobody's actually said that was the plan.
Nah, well, it seems like it from certain interviews the Rocky guy has done. But I don't care about John Cena's last run. It is what it is. I'm just more interested. And I'll say this. I hate the guy, but I want Punk to get the title because I think that would be very interesting to do.
Could happen.
Because in Saudi Arabia would be very funny with his previous tweet history. That'd be very, very funny indeed. But I don't know. If they want to do it, fine, go ahead. There's other things I'm interested in the WWE besides John Cena right now that I really am invested in. I think Dominic Mysterio is the best champion they've got in that company right now. I think he's stellar with that belt, and I think he's a great champion. I like Dominic Mysterio. Heck, have Dom become WWE champion at this point because I think it would be great. But nonetheless, John Cena doesn't really jive with me right now. I've not really enjoyed this whole retirement run. R-Truth is just a match to count down the clock. Nothing's going to come of it.
Oh, it's a fantastic feud. He's come back to the company over it. I mean, I can understand complaining maybe about the Orton belt, that it wasn't long enough, something like that. But to insult this R-Truth story, this has been the best part undeniably about it. But I mean, Garrett says CM Punk will help with a run-in and wrong killings will win. I could see that happening. Clark says it's the heel turn of the year. I thought he liked the spinner belt. Christopher just subscribed to Wrestling Republic Undercards. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
And the Atomic Merp says, as a super fan of Cena, I love the heel countdown, but the match build-ups haven't hit. But I guess that's the point of the gimmick. What I will say, to your point, Saul, maybe the bigger issue here is actually the fact that maybe it's just they're trying to fit too many feuds into a short amount of time. I don't think the countdown's the issue. I think the issue is they're trying to fit too much into it when they do only have that many dates.
I just don't think it works because it's Cena. Like he's been the babyface for the longest of time. So this one heel opportunity, you only have one chance to do it. I know he did it in the past, but this new idea of him being heel should have been something that's like a lot of planning went into and a lot of this beat, and it feels very sporadic. You do
I
Orton
don't agree with that.
So you do Orton, one of his most legendary feuds first, and it's classified as the last time, right? So it means that means technically you shouldn't do it again because it was the last time.
Yeah.
You then jump to what was it? Then R-Truth after that?
Yeah.
Which I kind of get because R-Truth did the whole thing of like, oh, he's my hero and all that, but then you made it non-title. Why?
But yeah, because R-Truth's done nothing to earn a title shot. That made perfect sense. I would have had an issue if it was for the title.
I have an issue that it wasn't for the title though, because I feel like title match, like the thing with John Cena is you shouldn't be wasting his dates because you have this countdown. You have whatever appearances you have doing time for the promos, time for appearances to build up the matches, and the builds haven't been there to make me invested in this final heel turn story. The only one that generally I am invested in is him and Punk because it had a bit more build than Orton and a way more bit of a build than this Truth stuff.
This Truth's now got a lot of build.
Yeah,
he left the company, came back.
It's been the hot topic, and it's been a great like switch up for him character wise. So
yeah, but let's now talk about some Liv Morgan because, of course, this week she heartbreakingly suffered a dislocated shoulder, and she will reportedly need surgery on it, which will keep her out for what is probably going to be around 6 months. Truthfully, it could be a little bit shorter. It could be a little bit longer. It depends, what actually got hurt when she dislocated it as well, because we don't know any of that yet. But the fact is, she's going to be out for a very long time, and it brings us to a bigger question. And that's what the hell are we meant to do with the Judgment Day in the meantime? Because it sure looked like we were in the process of actually splitting these guys up. Saul, what's your thoughts on it?
So first off, I know I'm an idiot or harsh, but I do generally want to say for Liv Morgan, I hope she recovers well and everything goes well for her because that was a hell of a just scary thing within wrestling that you never know what can happen. So all the best to her. In my mind, there are 3 things that need to be identified and acted upon storyline terms because of Liv Morgan's injury. The Judgment Day, the tag titles, and Dominic Mysterio. Let's go through each of them, right? The Judgment Day has been teased for breaking for like years at this point. Of it's all going to come falling down. It's all going to break apart. Maybe it was going to be like Finn and Liv versus Dom and Roxanne, or maybe Finn and Roxanne versus Liv and Dom. That kind of splitting apart. But now it's weird because like Raquel would go with one side and then JD with the other, and JD's probably going to go with Finn. So Raquel and Liv with Dom versus Finn, JD, and Roxanne. I think it's a bit messy. But now with Liv gone for this many months, they need to shoot themselves in the foot now and be like, well, what can we do? Is Roxanne just now going to integrate and lead the faction, and maybe Finn can kick out Dom and win the IC off him to really cement the faction or something like that? They could. But that's, I don't think, is even the bigger problem here because that takes care of the Judgment Day and Dom. The Iron Bruce kicking up my esophagus right now. The main problem is the women's tag titles because they're going to have to be vacated. You are not going to keep them on Raquel for this long until Liv comes back if it's 6 or 9 months. And personally, you can't put them on Roxanne because my personal point on this is if you are not in the group or the team when you win a tag title or a trios title or a 6-man title, you shouldn't get the belt. Roxanne wasn't in the picture when they won the belt, so technically she is not Judgment Day, so she shouldn't be like we'll put it on her. That fixes the problem. What I would do, match at Evolution 2 and put the belts on the Bella Twins if they can come back and do it. Because we had seen this tease of a thing between Nikki and Liv. That's not happening now. We have Nikki. She could be like solidarity to Liv and all that, but now those titles are up. I want to win them. Pre-mode. Here we go. And you put the belts on one of the most notorious tag team females of the last decade and all that, because people think women tag teams or women duos, you think of the Bellas. So put the belts on them. For how long? I have no clue. How many women tag teams are in WWE right now? No clue. So do what you can with that, because that's the biggest head
Yeah.
in all of WWE.
No, you're right.
I know
They have to rebuild the division. There's no doubt about it. But I mean,
I know I've said my point in it. I know you said on your point in it, but this feels like the ultimate low for these belts right now, because they're besides the Bellas, what do you do with them? They
have to do something, that is for sure. But Shad, what would you do with this Judgment Day situation?
Well, first and foremost, let me just say this. Liv Morgan being out of action is one of the biggest losses the WWE can have. You can make a strong argument that Liv Morgan is the most important women's superstar in the WWE for the last few years. You talk about storyline, you talk about match quality, you talk about having a connection with the fans, you talk about doing stuff outside of pro wrestling that keeps her in the limelight. The woman is a bona fide star, and you not having her in there is gut-wrenching. It really, really does hurt the WWE, and I really hope that they're able to find some bit of a way to fill that void. Now, that void could possibly be filled with a Miss Roxanne Perez. I think you just need to plug and play and let Roxanne be backup quarterback. I think you put her in position, you let her and Raquel be the tag champs, and you create that star. Dominic Mysterio is a key part because he is the most magnetic heel. And if you want Roxanne to be a big-time heel, well, you align her with Dom. You allow them to get close. Yes, it is reminiscent to what happened with the Liv and Rhea story, but hell, man, the story can continue, and you can establish and create a star. So if I'm doing that, I'm building Roxanne to do what Liv is doing, and I'm letting her and Raquel become tag champs, and I'm letting them actually run that tag division a little bit, because Roxanne Perez can work. She's one of the best in-ring wrestlers in the entire world, and that is a way that you can help her, one, work with someone like Raquel, where it is a difference of styles. One of the worker, the other one is the heavy. And two, it adds more character development. And when we get Liv Morgan come back, that's when you got that big time feud. But for the time being, I'm curious to see what happens. The entirety of it, you got to have Finn, be that orchestrator to it. And one last thing. It's Ron Killings, not R-Truth, guys.
I know. I keep saying, to be fair, WWE keeps saying R-Truth, and they're the ones who are drilling it into me. But I do agree with you, Shad. And honestly, I don't hate the idea of them repeating the Rhea storyline a bit. Because I'm wondering to myself, how long can they keep this up? Where Dominic Mysterio is basically the Pete Davidson of professional wrestling.
Well,
where he just goes from one to another.
So that's the thing. So initially, they didn't give us the ending of what we thought was going to happen. We thought Liv was being weaseled in by Finn to take down the Judgment Day and take down everyone. But it ended up becoming Liv and Dom, which is a stronger unit than Rhea and Dom. Like, by far, their dynamic works way better. They
10 times
play the part like 100%. They bought into the bit, and they're riding strong with it. But this is the time you let Raquel be the real mole to destroy everything within the Judgment Day. And this is how you create those cracks and let it crumble. And by that time, I think strongly Liv Morgan could be the biggest babyface in the WWE when she returns. Like, she could literally be above Cody Rhodes. She could be above a lot of people, given the story, everything with Dom and just all of that. I believe it. Like, I'm telling you, Liv Morgan has star power that a lot of people. She has. Look, man, she got more star power than Cody Rhodes. I'm being real with you.
Wow,
Yeah,
flipping heck.
like,
Okay,
Liv got more star power.
I don't know
than
if I
Cody
agree
Rhodes
on
as a
that one.
babyface.
Yeah,
yeah.
clearly the heat's got to your head, mate. You need to cool down. You need to cool down.
It's not y'all. People underestimate the character development. Like,
I agree on that. I agree on that. I don't know if I agree on that as a bigger baby face than Cody Rhodes, but
She could definitely be a bigger babyface than Cody Rhodes, without a doubt.
But we're going to have to get into this in more detail at a later date. That is for certain. But before we conclude, I'm going to quickly read out some of these comments. Atomic Merp says the most obvious answer is Roxanne weaseling her way into the Judgment Day. But for the love of God, vacate those belts. Rhea shouldn't have had to have vacated the world title if Liv can't do it too. To be fair, there is a bit of a difference with World and Tag Team Championship. Number one Superfly says he wishes Liv a speedy recovery, and Roxanne is going to do the same thing Liv did. Yeah, I can see that happening. Christopher Leclerc simply says Roxanne Perez, and I think therefore I am. Shout out to you, of course, who was on the show on Tuesday. Says let Finn destroy the Judgment Day. It's his destiny.
My boy,
is
Ryan
the big
Lynn.
push.
Let's go. That's my dog, man. Great dude.
If you guys haven't seen Tuesday's show, make sure to check it out. Him, Shad, and Clark had a fantastic one. But that does bring us to the end of today's show. Thank you to Shad, thank you to Soul, and thank you to all of you who have watched along. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow to talk a little bit of SmackDown. Have a great one. Peace.